Hello everyone, welcome to Confirmation 2021. It has been a long, tedious year of doing this class on Zoom. I think I stand for all of my classmates when I say that I wish this could have been done in person the whole time, but life sucks sometimes. I just wanted to reflect briefly on this past year and doing this class and Mercaz as a whole online. In September, we started this class not knowing what was going to happen this year. We didn't know if we were going to be able to have this today. We certainly knew we weren't able to go to Washington, D.C., but that's beyond the point. But here we are, at the synagogue. We as a group, as a society, have persevered to get to this point. 8 months ago, we had no idea what the future held. All of us were either doing school fully online or hybrid. But now, many schools are back fully open 5 days a week. The biggest theme, the biggest question throughout this year in confirmation class is this: what does it mean to be Jewish? And some people may have an answer. Others may think that it's a rhetorical question. But my answer is this: being Jewish is special because it gives you a unique perspective. As someone who doesn't spend a lot of time with other Jews, it really gave me like a new worldview. And I'm sure that my classmates feel the same. So, let's get this show on the road.
Understand, and I parched fields, nor mend a broken bridge, nor rebuild a ruined city. For prayer can water an airy soul, mend a broken heart, rebuild a weakened will.
Your love, your Torah, is supposed to help us through light and dark, health and sickness, and yet we struggle through these terrible times. We hear your love is supposed to teach us things, wisdom and direction, empathy and admiration, science and growth. Teach us your Torah, your mitzvot, your laws and precepts. We want to learn. Without it, we are left struggling. Is it your intention to leave us like this? We want to understand. We want to be loved. We want to be wise, to be passionate, to be knowledgeable. Don't let us struggle on our own. Please help us, Adonai. We will devote ourselves to your Torah, your laws, your commandments. We will cherish and follow your teachings forever and always. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel.
Wrap these words around your deeds as a holy garment, and let them shape your home in a dwelling place of peace. Wherever you go, scatter these words like seeds. Let them be drops of water on thirsty earth. Seal these words upon your heart, that their sacredness may ferment you being, coursing through your veins, melting body into soul.
ทักทางอ่อนที่จะไปแท้ค่ะอยู่ที่ชาแรกค่ะเมื่อมาที่สเกริวก็สีแท้ในความเป็นไทยเดียแทมเคชิมเวลเฮแฮอานีอาโดนายเอลเฮแฮอาเชร์เฮเซทีแฮมเมเยเรตมิสไรเลกิโอลาแฮมเลลมิมอานีอาโดนายเอลเฮแฮ
Treading on the parted shores of history, we still believe that we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai. That wherever we are is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land. That the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness. That there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together.
Give us the will to proclaim its message to all the peoples of the earth. Bless our country as a safeguard of peace, its advocate among the nations. May contentment reign within our borders, health and happiness within our homes. Strengthen the bonds of friendship and fellowship among all the inhabitants of every land. Plant virtue in every soul, and may the love of your name hallow every home and every heart. Praise are you, Eternal One, who blesses our people with peace.
One voice against the world. One community linked together like the stars forming constellations in the sky. One journey, 1,000 journeys. 1,000,000 journeys taken from the beginning of time, each different than the one that came before it. One nation, a Jewish nation, building a foundation with self-determination to grow stronger, stronger than we were the day before, and stronger than our ancestors in the desert could have ever imagined. We are a blank canvas, and each journey is a colorful marker. As we each take our journey, we create pictures, beautiful lines connecting us, one by one, day by day. Pictures that will show us the world. Pictures our grandchildren will one day look at and ask stories about, and we will tell them. We will tell them how we aced a math test, won a track meet, won the science fair, climbed Masada. We will tell them about the hardships we faced, how we failed our chemistry final, wept as a loved one passed away, lost our favorite necklace, lost a best friend. These colored lines of our journeys stretch across thousands of miles, each sharing a different story. Stories that cause others to show the love and care they're bound to share, because life is not fair and we each need someone there. Someone there to guide us, show us good from evil, right from wrong. Someone to take us by the hand and squeeze tight just to show everything will be all right. Someone who will take our hand and go on our journey with us, because everyone needs someone. Someone to laugh with, cry with, share memories with. Every journey comes with memories. Memories and moments that last forever. Moments created with the Jewish community that we will keep for our lifetime. Moments mapped out on a once blank canvas that has magically turned to color, showing all of the different journeys we each took, no matter where we were. The colors keep on building because the journeys never end. We go on day by day, creating new memories and new experiences. Yes, we are one. We are one community, one voice, one people. But we are also infinite.
Over the years, Religious School of B'nai Israel has not only been a place of education, but also a place filled with warmth, love, and friendliness. I have made some lifelong friends here at B'nai Israel and have had some amazing experiences. From the trip to Eisner in 7th grade to the trip to Philadelphia in 8th grade, I had an awesome time where I got to learn about being Jewish while also having fun with my friends and meeting new people. B'nai Israel's religious school has given me the chance to make new friends and discover who I am as a Jew. In 2nd grade, I met one of my best friends, Marissa Jacoby. We didn't go to school together at the time, so the only time we got to see each other was Sundays at religious school. This was something I looked forward to every week as a kid. As we grew older, we became a lot closer, especially when we started getting involved in more activities at the temple. I not only made friends with Marissa, but so many others, and I'm happy that B'nai Israel gave me this opportunity to meet these people. Not only have I made new friends at B'nai, but I also formed trusted relationships with some of my teachers throughout the years. In particular, Mrs. Blumenthal and Mrs. Martell left such a positive mark on my life. They were another reason I look forward to going to religious school each week. They made everything we did fun, entertaining, and meaningful. I then had Miss Martell in 7th grade Spanish and got to know her even better because of attending religious school with her each week. I was still trying to figure out what it meant to be a Jew at this age. My teachers and emissaries helped me find that meaning in an interesting manner. If it weren't for B'nai Israel, I would have never had these opportunities to meet amazing people and have these learning experiences. I look forward to my future at B'nai Israel and all the other learning experiences I will partake in.
Hello and welcome. It's hard to describe what being Jewish really means to me, but I know that I love spending time with my aunts, uncles, grandparents, and cousins during the holidays. I love the traditions we celebrate, like lighting Shabbat candles on Fridays. I love playing dreidel and eating latkes on Hanukkah. And I love celebrating friends and cousins' bar and bat mitzvahs. But more than anything, being Jewish to me is a feeling I can't quite describe. It's that connection to friends who are like family. It's being reunited with summer camp friends after months apart and picking up right where you left off. I love being Jewish for the relationships and communities. Other than the importance of the holiday, I love using Jewish holidays as an excuse to get together with the people I love. Never was this more apparent than with my experience with Team Israel. I was fortunate enough to be a part of the U13 Israeli national lacrosse team. We participated in the World Series of Youth Lacrosse in Denver, Colorado about 3 years ago. It was an incredible experience where we got to play against some of the best teams around the United States and Canada. All of the teams we played against had practiced together for months or even years. However, our group of Jewish kids from all around the country, and even 2 from Israel, practiced for only 2 days before we began our run in the tournament. Although playing and winning with the team was amazing, that wasn't what stuck with me the most. It was the relationships I formed from that team and that trip. The fact that 17 players and 3 coaches connected so quickly and were able to compete and even beat some of the best teams in the country really shows something. Is that the Jewish community is very, very strong despite its small size. The connections and relationships that I've formed with other Jews are remarkable, and I am forever grateful for every single one of them. Through all my experiences, this confirmation class being one of them, I continue to develop my sense of pride for being Jewish. Thank you.
Throughout this year in confirmation class, we talked about many topics regarding Jewish identity. One topic that stood out this year especially was anti-Semitism. In my lifetime, I haven't experienced much, if any, serious anti-Semitism. Yes, I've heard some Holocaust jokes, and I've made sure to make it known that I do not condone them. But none of the people saying them were seriously against Jews. However, this previous year was the year where I experienced the most anti-Semitism. I did not experience anti-Semitism towards myself, but this was the first time I actually felt a bit scared to be Jewish. The Capitol riot earlier this year was the scariest moment of my life regarding anti-Semitism. I'm sure it was scary for all people in the United States, but certain aspects of it were extra frightening for the Jewish community. People were wearing shirts that said Camp Auschwitz and 6 million wasn't enough. As a Jew, it was very scary to see people that thought the Holocaust was a good thing and more of it should have happened standing in the Capitol building of our free country. In this community, we live in almost a bubble where we don't see much anti-Semitism at all. Depending on the town in this county that you live in, you might see more anti-Semitism, but you aren't seeing people saying more Jews should die. This major event on the news was very eye-opening, and I was able to see that this truly is still a problem. I was able to see it firsthand and not just hear stories of anti-Semitism. For many reasons, this Capitol riot event was important for many people, but I think it showed something to the Jewish community, especially the young Jewish community, who haven't experienced anything like that before. It shows that even though we have made a lot of progress with diminishing anti-Semitism, there's still a lot more work to do. A few things that we can do, and we talked about this year, was supporting the Anti-Defamation League and advocating for more enforced Holocaust education. Supporting the ADL is very important, and one notable action that they did this year that we talked about was calling out Saturday Night Live for an anti-Semitic joke about Israel vaccinating more Jews than other religions. Not only is the ADL working to limit anti-Semitism, they're also trying to stop all defamation of all kinds. In addition to this, getting Holocaust education taught in all schools is very necessary. Not only will we stop the repeating of our past, but more people will learn about the tragedy that took place, which will make them realize that wearing shirts that say 6 million wasn't enough is completely wrong. There's a lot of work for us to do as we continue to make a better and safer future for Jews.
When you reach 8th grade, the Temple offers a trip to Philadelphia. For me personally, I was both nervous and excited, but the trip ended up being a lot better than I anticipated. Our very first stop on our journey in Philadelphia was to a Jewish type community center in Drexel. There, we had Shabbat dinner with a bunch of younger Jewish adults, and I found this very cool because it was a place where you could come together as a Jewish adult like me and meet other people. And yet, even if you felt that there weren't many Jewish people around you, they somehow were. After this, we later went back to the house and where we played a game with the 2 Israelite emissaries that had come with us. And it was a very great bonding experience. Their names were Rotem and Yuval. They were very nice people, and personally, this is the closest I've connected with an Israeli assembly recently. It was mainly due to this trip. The next day was full of activities, starting off with a trip to the National Museum of American Jewish History, where we got to learn about all the history from around the world, of how all types of Jewish people, from Orthodox to Reform Jews, made it to the United States. To learn the history and the origin of the Jewish people and their journey is a great learning opportunity for me and my peers. The museum was directly next to the Liberty Bell, which we got to see. And during that, seeing the Liberty Bell was a very exciting experience for me and everybody else. Getting to see a huge piece of history right in front of your eyes. But also, we didn't get there was also very many historical areas in Philadelphia that we didn't get to see. But just being in the city of itself was very exciting to see all the history right in front of your eyes. Where I really connected with Israeli emissaries was when I had read football and we had played right on the green of the Liberty Bell, and where I had the chance to teach them how to throw the football, and that's where I connected with them. But this is the funny part about the trip. So when it comes to food in Philadelphia, we think of cheesesteaks. Personally, I'm not kosher, but I know some people are. But ahead of time, I looked that we would be heading to a market filled with all types of food places. Well, the idea that I had was, I have to get a cheesesteak. It's Philadelphia. I don't have who else got it with me, but the greatest part was that I convinced the Israeli emissaries to get the cheesesteaks with me. And it was a very funny experience to see a bunch of Jewish kids in line and 2 people from Israel that had ordered cheesesteaks and had a great time doing it. But overall, this trip was a great experience for me. And it showed that for me personally, I know many kids before of this, and for me, I got to have a great bonding experience with the rabbi, Mr. Wise, and everybody else that went with me.
Hi everyone, my name is Nina Weiss. It's no secret that I'm loud and proud about being a Jewish woman. You can ask any of my friends, both Jewish and other, that the topic of Judaism is something I bring up quite frequently. Whether it's in a global class, English class, or even simply a topic at the lunch table, I've always loved to share my religion with those around me. I have always been this way, and I've always talked avidly about the topic of Judaism. While discussing this topic, other conversations would also arise. There were some conversations about schools in relation to religion, how perceptions on religion can change from person to person, and other interesting topics that were related. However, one thing that my friends and I constantly talked about in relation to religion was the concerning amount of misogyny. My friends and I, being the feminists that we are, it was shocking to me to see this amount of subtle inequalities in a multitude of religions, some not being so subtle. As a Reformed Jew, I have the blessing of a far less restrictive and more accepting community. However, commonly in Orthodox communities, there is a lot of misogyny that runs deep in their synagogues. For example, it's common that women get seated separately from the men, especially during prayer, and they are often placed farther from the rabbis, or even in an upstairs gallery. There is also a blessing that is required to be said by the men of these temples, saying thanks to God who has not made me a woman. It's clear that there is a gender hierarchy entrenched in the Jewish religion, and it's become a part of the religion itself. As the world seems to have modernized and changed throughout the decades, it seems that certain aspects of the Jewish religion have lagged behind. Women who practice this are put into a binary, where they must be the perfect wife, the perfect mother, and the perfect follower. Many doors of opportunity are shut for these women, and it's due to the ancient laws written by male rabbis. These are the laws that need to be detested and changed to fit today's culture. Another challenge that follows Orthodox women is the everyday challenge of following a religion that has not developed as times have changed. The tension between following the rules of their religion while also trying to live their lives in modern society proves to be an extreme challenge. Those who do not follow Judaism at all, specifically, tend to judge them for their choice to be a submissive wife in a developed world. However, it is not the fault of the women for their modesty and timidness. It's the religion that they truly love and follow that restricts them as much as it does. It's important to note that these women are used to these judgments and restrictions, but it's for exactly that reason that they seem to change. Those who are Orthodox have become so used to the ingrained misogyny that they don't seem to have issues with it. Judaism, specifically Orthodox Judaism, is most definitely a culprit in the mistreatment of women. But it is not just the Jewish religion that is at fault. In most religions, there are far more discriminatory acts against women than meets the eye. The Old and New Testament is filled with violent acts against women, committed by those they see as important figures. Women can be seen consistently being treated like objects in the Bible, and some of those ideologies continue into current-day Catholicism. Working women are discouraged because it is not a woman's job to be provided for the family. Some of my own Christian friends have told me how their mothers are extremely intelligent and inquisitive people, but they felt it went against their religion to truly pursue a career while having a husband. It's stories like these that prove the need for reform when it comes to women in religion. Another example of this is in the Islamic religion. Women have almost no power or say in their lives due to Islamic beliefs. Women cannot speak during prayer, although men can, because they are seen as distracting. They must avert their eyes in the presence of a man. There are passages in the Quran that approve of beating disobedient women. This only speaks to the fact that women are viewed as objects, or simply as submissive wives. Although some have voiced the need for reform in Islam, it's something that hasn't changed for centuries. Islam, Christianity, and Judaism all fit the bill of religions with directly sexist ideologies, as do many more religions. Now, I'm not going to stand here and say that we must rewrite these religions word for word and beat the misogyny out of them. This is not a problem with a simple solution. However, there are things that we can do in our everyday life to strive for change. Promote the idea of women choosing what they want to do with their lives. Inform people that women are not subpar to men, especially in the case of religion. Discuss with Orthodox Jews, preferably women, about how following this religion has closed or opened doors for them. The most important thing that we can do as a community is have an open and honest conversation with people about the rampant sexism in religion. Instead of simply shrugging off the problem because it doesn't apply to you, advocate for those who cannot advocate for themselves. The misogyny will not end unless we can all work for reform, and it will not come quickly nor easily, but it will be a start. Now, I urge you all, when you get home, whether you're a woman or man or anything in between, sit down and talk, text, or call your mother, sister, aunt, coworker, or any woman that you feel comfortable with, and just listen to what they have to say about their own personal experiences. I know as a young woman, I have dealt with my fair share of sexism, and I am only 16. Every woman has a story about it, so sit down and listen. If we can all start to understand the tribulations of womanhood, then we can start to break down the walls that have blocked us into a binary. This is where reform can begin, but as I said, the first and most important thing that we can do for change is listen. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you to Riley and Aaron, Jonah, Jack, and Nina. We're going to turn to our Torah service at this time. Very pleased Aaron Jessler, Jonah Hotchkiss, and Darren Ruskin are going to be our Torah readers this afternoon. And we are very pleased to offer all of you the honor of the Aliyah. So we'll have all of you rise at this time.
We will be chanting the Ten Commandments this morning. If you'd like to follow along in the red Chumash, it's on page 539.
Amen. Anoki Adonai Elohecha Asher Hotzeiticha Me'eretz Mitzrayim Mibeit Avadim Lo Yehiecha Lecha Elohim Echarim Al Panai Lo Ta'aseh Lecha Chesel V'chaltuna asher b'shamayim minimal v'asher be'eretz mitana mitachat v'asher be'amayim mitachat le'eretz.
Amen. Lo tisad etchim Adonai Elohim al Asham ki lo yinaket Adonai et asher yitzad et shemo lasha zahor et yom hashabat lekadsho shesh et yamim ta'avod va'asi ta'kom melachtecha v'yom hashvi'i shabbat Adonai Elohim Ta'aseh komelaha ata uviha uviteha avdeha v'amanteha ufamteha v'yirha asher v'shareha ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim v'et ha'aretz et hayom v'kol asher bam Bayana Bayam Pati, Ake, Bera Karanai, and Yom Hashabai, Ayatache.
Amen. Kadeda Daviha, Leha, Lemai, Yarikun, Yareha, Al Hadama, Asheronai, Leha, Lotema, Lo Tirza, Lo Tina, Lo Tino, Lotane, Zereha, Ejak. Lotak mode, Betreha, Lotak mode, Ashet Reyeha, the Abdo, Ramato, Ishiro, Rahamaro, they call Asher Reyeha.
We're going to turn our tour scroll to the art at this time. The guest has made, so if you are able to rise at this time.
It's an odd duck. Like Yom Ha'atzmaut, Israel's Independence Day, confirmation is a modern celebration by the world's longest functioning faith. The first Reform rabbis decided nearly 150 years ago that Bar Mitzvah came too soon for the end of formal Jewish learning. Sorry, Bat Mitzvah wasn't even on their mind at the time. That was several decades away. So they borrowed the name confirmation from their Christian neighbors and set about developing a process and ceremony for Jewish young adults, like you, to keep learning a little longer and then to confirm to the larger adult Jewish community that you were ready to take your place among us. That you were ready to stand up and say, I have a voice, and to make that voice heard among and on behalf of the Jewish people. Parents, we spend most of the year with these students trying to further develop a sense of group identity through a variety of shared experiences. It's not very comfortable or easy to single one of them out as an outstanding confirmer. This is America, though, and as American Jews, we attach some value to such recognition. For generations, our congregation has chosen one or two members of the class to receive the Small Family Award in recognition of the strongest connections to B'nai Israel, the Jewish people, and their own growing Jewish identity. This has been some year and a bit, not just for you, but for the entire world. As a small and mighty group, you guys have stuck together without actually physically being together much at all. You've all gone above and beyond. And the clergy and I agree that we need to give the small award to the entire class. There's no picking one or two of you out. Now, small is the name of the family who donated the funds, but when we divide the annual reward among the 10 of you, the reward becomes pretty small as well. So instead, on your behalf, we are making a donation in all of your names to the ADL. You talk about me. I was about to say the word me. The Anti-Defamation League. The world needs that kind of healing, and we need you to be part of making that happen. So mazel tov to all of you. Now, if you will all rise, not you, them, and join me in reciting the confirmation pledge. We stand here this day, ready to assume the responsibilities of our heritage. We confirm our commitment to our people and our people's faith. With all our hearts and all our souls and with all our might and mind, we will strive to further the high ideals of Judaism and the shared values of Jewish people. The try to preserve the heritage of and inspiration. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Elohim, Adonai Echad. Hear, O Israel, the eternal God, the one is our God, the eternal God alone.
To our 2021 confirmands, Hinei Matov Manayim, Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. How good it is to gather in person together. I'm so grateful to gather with you, our 2021 class, and all of your families who are gathered here in our sanctuary. And this afternoon to mark our year of learning and study together. Like so much of our lives this past year, Aaron, I think you put it pretty well in the beginning there. Confirmation was really like any other year. Due to this pandemic, our weekly Tuesday night discussions moved to Zoom. And I know after long days of school and your other obligations, I was really amazed each week by your strong commitments to being present to one another and your thoughtful and engaging responses to our class discussions. Our curriculum in confirmation is based around the notion of identity. We began together examining all the aspects that make up who each of us are. We have Jewish aspects to our identities. We have American aspects. We each have unique qualities and characteristics that comprise exactly who we are and how we engage with the world around us. Our discussions and conversations around our Jewish identities, around current events, focused on being American Jews, around the topic of Israel, anti-Semitism, and even the most basic question of who is a Jew, what it means to be a Jewish person in 2021. This past Friday night, we really had the joy of gathering together around the campfire. Our first time together, in fact, as a group. And as we each had an opportunity to share, I was quite touched with the fact that many of you remarked how this year prompted you to think more deeply about your Jewish identities. Several of you said how our weekly Tuesday gatherings changed, in fact, how you see yourselves. Studying identity so closely has given you a deeper pride in being Jewish and a much greater awareness of who you are and your Jewish identity. It is really an honor to have studied with you this year. I hope each of you will continue on this important journey of identity exploration. We live in a world where identity is increasingly complex. As you continue on through high school, college, and beyond, you will be faced with many who challenge your Jewish identity and your faith. I hope this year offered you a firm basis to continue that journey of who you are, and every day who you are proud to be. Before I close, just want to offer a few thank yous to some folks who really helped to make this day possible and happen. Thank you to the Hurlberts, Lisa and Dan. Dan was our parking actually, and Lisa, and to you, Jody Nathanson, the two of you together helped to plan this day. Let's decorate our flowers, some little surprises for all of our confirmands. So thank you so much to the two of you for helping out. I think they left, but Neil Fink and Carl Urwich, who are our sound and technology people, who when it started raining and getting windy, after having everything set up outside, got everything set up back here in the sanctuary so we can have our service. indoors. They've just been amazing. Next time you see Chris Rocha in the office, please thank her for all her efforts. To you, Ira, to you, Ken Arubel, to you, Rabbi Mariam, what a great team you get to work with every day. And just thank you to all of you. I know it has been a different kind of year in every way. We've had to pivot many times, including about 2 hours ago when it started to pour, once we had everything set up. But it's nice to gather here in our sanctuary and to be together. And to all of you, all the talents that came together here this afternoon. We didn't have one in-person rehearsal, so all our practice took place on Zoom and through conversation, and it just came together so beautifully. Thank you, Rebecca, for your singing, Matthew, for your piano, the Torah reading, the words you shared. It was really incredible. So thank you to the 10 of you for just stepping up in so many ways. I'm just a very grateful rabbi this afternoon. I wish you such a huge mazel tov on this day. And to your families who are gathered here, I feel such gratitude to be your teacher, and even more so your student. I hope we'll have more opportunities to learn together as we go forward. So wishing you many, many blessings on this day, and a huge mazel tov. Pleased to call Rabbi Mariam, who's going to offer you a blessing at this time to mark this day.
Another blessing to our 2021 confirmation class. You entered Jewish adulthood at your B'nai Mitzvah, but today you affirm your place in the Jewish community, a place you take by your own choosing. We are proud that this tradition, which means so much to us, has come to mean so much to you. In the years ahead, may you always know the support of loving family and wise teachers. May you, like so many in our tradition before us, ask questions, seek out answers, and further develop a Jewish identity that will be your own. Our connection to our ancestors inspires us to continue to embrace our heritage in every generation, carrying words of Torah on our lips and in our hearts. Through learning, we learn to observe Jewish customs, to value Jewish community, and to ponder Jewish ideas. But for this heritage to take root deep in our hearts, we must continually strive to live by the values of our religion and to learn to appreciate and observe its beautiful teachings. In this country and in our modern secular world, we all must pledge to become Jews by choice. And so we look to you now, our confirmands, and are inspired by your choice to continue your Jewish learning and serve as guardians of our sacred tradition. May you continue to inspire your peers, your family, and everyone you meet to engage in the task of Tikkun Olam, healing our world and casting your bright lights into its darkest corners. And together we say, Amen. So now the three of us, Mr. Rubel, Rabbi Schultz, and I will bless you with the ancient words of the priestly benediction.
Rise, I'll tell you to rise. May God bless you and keep you.
May God's light always shine down upon you and show you the way forward.
May the divine light always shine and reflect all of you. May you one day know a world that is both peaceful and whole. Together we say, Amen.
Alleluia Shabbat Adon Harfol, Vategu Anu Sereshi, Shelo Asan Hule Haratzot, Velo Samanu Kishkepot Ranama, Shelo Sam Kapiru Kahem, Velo Aleinu Kepo Hamona, Anach Yuri, Umishtabali Umari, Lifnei Melech, Malkei Hamlakim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
We close with the song which we began. Hope that you'll sing along with us at the end. Turn to the words of the Kaddish. Certainly there may be those in our lives and our families that we are recalling as we gather together on a day such as today. So we'll turn to these words of memory, these words of the mourner's Kaddish. I'd like to once more please to rise as we turn to these words of memory that accompany us. We'll join together. Yitkadal, Yitkadash, Mirabah, Yomad, Barak, Yurtei, Yomid, Malkutei, Rakaye, Om, Yomek, Om, Rukaye, Dekol, Beit Yisrael, Bagala, Vizman, Kari, Imru, Amen. Yesh, Mirabah, Mevorach, Leolam, Leomaya, Yitbarach, Yishabach, Yifar, Yichomam, Yinaseh, Yitador, Yitaleh, Yitalal, Shmei, Yidishah, Yiriklu, Ve'ela, Mikol, Yirkata, Veshurata, Trishvakata, V'mechamata, Damira, Ve'alma, V'imru, Amen. Ve'eshama, Rabba, Mishamaya, Ve'chayim, Alinu, Ve'al, Kol Yisrael, V'imru, Amen. Oseh Shalom, Imroma, Uya Aseh Shalom, Alinu, Ve'al, Kol Yisrael, V'imru, Amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn, give comfort to all who are bereaved. And together we say, Amen. If we say, stand in, as we turn to our closing song after our song, I'll have everyone just in just a moment. To all of our confirmands, we have some things to offer to you. A Tanakh, our book, yes. The book we are offering is called, it's a new book that came out called Pirkei Avot, a social justice commentary. Just came out with the CCR Press. You get a nice certificate of confirmation to hold on to. And then Jody and Lisa would love for you to put together these really cool gift bags for you. So if you want to come up and hand them to each confirmand as well, we'd love for you to come do that. And once you get your bag, Rabbi Meir and I will kind of call you up each one at a time to receive your bag. We'll just have you come kind of stand in the front in the next photo moment for everyone before we head on our way today. And again, thank you everyone for being here, for making this day happen, and just for your presence and your joy. And we'll turn back to you, Rebecca, and Cantor Rubel to take us out of our service.
Bye.
call you up one by one to receive some gifts from us, and you can just come stand right on the front here. So, Matthew Derrick. And Aaron Dressler. Aaron Field. Jonah Hotchkiss. Rebecca Roper.
Jack Minsky. Riley Nathanson. Jonah Rosenbaum. Aaron Ruskin. Nina Weiss.
Mazel tov, everyone. Our confirmation class is over. Wonderful day, everyone. Thanks, everyone, for joining us.
Well, I think there's a treat waiting for everyone outside.
Hey!